The world is at a standstill. We have been advised to stay at home. All our plans have been shattered, but I will not be put down. I promised myself when I went into isolation that I would go from Barney to looking like the Silver Surfer. And that is what you should do too. By the time we are leaving isolation, by the time all of this is over, you should be a better version of yourself. And because of that, I advise you that you take my 2-week course. For inquiries, please contact the number that you see on the screen. At the end of this, we shall come out better, stronger, and more creative people. To begin, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fold our fabric. Okay, we're assuming that this is our fabric, and what you're going to do when you're folding your fabric is the biggest measurement around your body divided by 4 plus the allowance you intend to use. But the biggest measurement around your body, not the biggest number, because sometimes your dress length might be longer than the biggest measurements around your body. Your dress length might be like 65, and the biggest measurement around your body might be like 40, probably your bust or your hip. But in this case, we're making the corset, so only the top part of the body is being considered. And that's going to be your bust. Your bust is the biggest when it comes to the top part most times. So for the measurements I'm working with, it is the bust. So how we do that is the bust divided by 4. Our bust is the 6. Bust is 36 divided by 4 is 9, plus 4 inches of allowance, because that's how much we're going to excess we're going to need for what we're about to start. So 9 plus 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 13. That's what I have here. So I've folded 13 using that method. Now I'm going to simply tape it down so that it doesn't move back and forth while I work. Okay, videos on how to sew, the channel, we've not been doing a lot of sewing recently, but a lot of videos on how to sew are coming. So to begin, the first thing we're going to do when we're drafting the corset is we're going to draft a regular bodice. Now you guys have seen me draft a bodice numerous times on the channel, but let me just run through it for the people that are just joining us. So the first thing we're going to do up here is I'm going to place my shoulder measurement. My shoulder is, I'm going to keep ½ inch from the top, sorry. So from up straight down, ½ inch. Now see that, so that's ½ inch. Then up here I'm going to place my shoulder measurement. This way my shoulder measurements will be placed. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark all my vertical measurements. Now vertical measurements are measurements like your under bust length, your top length, your dress length, all the measurements that come from your shoulder running down your body are your vertical measurements. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So the first one we're going to drop is our under bust length. Under bust length is 14. We're going to place 14. The next thing we're going to place our half cut at 16. Okay, and then we're going to place the corset length. Okay, because corsets are shorter than regular tops. Okay, so for this corset we're using a length of 22. Okay, so that is where the corset is going to stop. Okay, now how do you find your bust? Now the next measurement to be placed is our bust points. Now for the bust points, that's distance from the shoulder, that's the length from your shoulder to where your nipple is. Okay, now the formula for finding your bust point, if you don't want to take it on your clients, because that can be quite awkward, is that you, from your under bust length, you count 4 inches up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Our bust point is going to fall at 10 inches. Okay, so now I'm going to rule straight lines from top to bottom, like so. I'm going to rule another line here. I'm going to rule another line here, and I'm going to complete it by ruling a line at the bottom. So I have placed all my vertical measurements. All right, now the next measurements we're going to place are our horizontal measurements. Okay, so horizontal measurements are measurements like our shoulder. Our shoulder is always divided by 2, so we're going to come here. 14 divided by 2 is 7. We're going to place that there. The next thing I'm going to place is my bust measurement. Our bust is 36. 36 divided by 2 is 36 divided by 4. Your bust is always divided by 4. 36 divided by 4 is 9. We're going to make a mark at 9 inches. Okay, we're going to come to the under bust length, and we're going to place our under bust round measurement. Our under bust round. Now normally whenever I'm drafting the bodies, that will stop at the half cut, I come from the bust straight down to the half cut. But when I'm drafting things that that are longer, like straight tops and stuff that don't have joining at the half cut. I always like making all my lines meet so that I know where everything falls, unlike when I'm drafting the bodies. So half cut under bust round, sorry, is 28 divided by 4 is 7. So I'm going to come to 7. I'm going to make a mark at 7. I'm going to place the same thing I placed here down here. Okay, I'm going to place the same thing I placed down here over there. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the bottom and I'm going to place our waist measurements. Okay, so we took the measurements around the person's waist. The waist, we took it around her belly button. So where the belly button is, that's where we took the our tape around. Okay, and we came out with the number with 30. So 30 divided by 4 is 7.5. okay, all the tapes that go around your body, like your bust, your hip, your waist, your belly, all those measurements are all divided by 4 as long as the tape goes around your body. Okay, so now I've connected all my dots. Okay, so now the next thing I'm going to do is to come to the top. Now this is a corset and it doesn't have a neckline width and a neckline depth, but we're going to use a random neckline width and neckline depth, even though that doesn't matter, just so it will help us slope our armhole. Okay, so we just make a mark there. Okay, then you're going to come to the edge here. You're going to come to where 1 inch is. Okay, you're going to slope your shoulder by 1 inch. You're going to draw a line from here to here. Okay, see that? Now the next thing we're going to do is to place our armhole. Now the formula for finding your armhole is the bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. okay, and that gives us 7.5. so we're going to come here and we're going to make a mark at 7.5 like so. Okay, in case you are wondering how to determine this place, whatever I place at my shoulder is what I'm going to place here. So if I have 7 here, the distance from here to here is 7. Okay, now when that is done, we're going to rule out. Okay, just a random straight line there. We're going to measure from here to here. We'll come to the center. Now this is because the front is smaller than the back, so we have to take cognizance of that. Now our bust, our armhole is 7.5. the middle of 7.5 is 3.75. so we're going to come to 3.75 and we're going to make a mark. Okay, now in case you are confused what 3.75 is, let me show you guys one more time. Okay, so this here is 3, this is 3.25, this is 3.5. this other line, the line here before this short one, before the end, before 4 inches, that's 3.75. okay, so that's what I did. I marked the center here. Okay, so when that is done, we're going to come in by half an inch. Okay, so that we reduce the armhole at the front a little. We're going to draw a line connecting from here to half an inch, and then we're going to cover out like so. All right, next thing we're going to do is we're going to complete this line from here to here. Okay, now we have drafted our bodies. Okay, this is our regular bodies block. Now we're going to start turning this into a corset. Okay, so now this is what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a lift. Now when the person wears a corset, it's not expected that the person wears a bra under it. Okay, so now how do we go about, how do we do this? What we do is we have to create some sort of lifts that the bra would ordinarily do. Okay, and that's what we're going to do. So you're going to come to your under bust length. Okay, you're going to come to your under bust length and you're going to come up by half an inch. As you can see what I've done there, with the under bust length I came up by half an inch. Okay, so when you've come up by half an inch, this is going to create a lift at her under bust. All right, we're going to rule a line from top to bottom. As you can see there, we just rule the straight line across the points. Okay, come, let me straighten this line. So we rule the straight line across the points. The next measurement we are going to place is her bust span. Now what is the bust span? The bust span is the distance between her nipples. Okay, that's the distance from one nipple to the other. Now for her bust span is 7. Okay, 7 divided by 2. 7 divided by 2, because the bust span is divided by 2. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5 plus half an inch that we'll use for our sewing allowance, and that's going to bring us to 4. So we're going to come here, we're going to make a mark at 4 there. We're going to come around here, we're going to make a mark at 4 around here. We're going to do the same thing at every single line that we have here all the way to the bottom. So I'm going to also mark 4 here. Then I'm going to run a straight line from top to that point. Okay, so I'm running the line from here to here. Good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to this point now, and we're going to open it up. Now just like when you are making your bustiers or your princess darts or whatever you are making, at the under bust here you always have to take out some measurements so that it forms the bust that we desire. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. From this point here, from this center point, right, from the center point we're going to form our darts, just like how we did on our princess darts that I've shown. There's a video on the channel on how to draft the princess dart. If you don't know how to draft the princess dart, you should check it out. I did some, so please check out the video on how to draft a princess dart, the most recent one. Now the next thing I'm going to do, as you've seen, is that I'm going to come to both lines, to both sides of this line. So from here I'm going to mark 1 inch here, and then from here I'm going to mark 1 inch in, okay, which is what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to mark ½ inch here, ½ inch here. Then next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from this point to this point and then take it down. Okay, so this is her bust. I'm going to come here, I'm going to make a line from this point to this point, and then I'm going to make another line from here to here, like so and like so. So after I mark both sides of my dart, I'm going to simply draw a straight line from top to bottom. Okay, this 1 inch I'm going to run it all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to run this one here like this, and then I'm going to run this one here like so. Okay, so that's 2 inches running all the way down. Good. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place my tape here, and I'm going to mark this 3.5 all around here. Okay, because remember we have the distance from here to here is now 3.5. okay, so I'm going to come like so. I'm going to make a mark at 3.5. I'm going to turn it around like so. I'm going to make a mark here 3.5. Look at what I'm doing. I'm going to make a mark here 3.5. Turn the tape around from here. I'm going to make a mark at 3.5. The same thing. I'm going to simply repeat the exact same thing all around, okay, until I have it forming a circle. Okay, so as you can see, I'm making a mark everywhere. Okay, so I place the tape here, mark. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect all the dots that I have. Okay, so I connect from here to here, I connect from here to here, 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 and connect from here to here. Okay, now we have established the bust point. Okay, now that that's out of the way, it's time for us to proceed. Okay, so now the next thing that you're going to need to do is that you're going to need to create a little space in the center. Okay, now to be able to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to need to redraw this curve, because that's not how the curve is going to sit at the end of the day. Okay, so just so that it's clearer, I'm going to use a different color of marker. So what we're going to do is you're going to come to the center here. Okay, and from the center you're going to make a mark at 1 inch. Okay, this so that there's a space in between the bust. They are not supposed to sit so close to each other. There's supposed to be a little space before the curve starts. Okay, so what we're going to do is from here to here we're going to keep 1 inch like that. You can see what I have done. We're going to roll a straight line from here to here. Okay, you can see that straight line from here to here, and then we're going to make a curve, a new curve from here. Okay, curve out to the center point. You see this? We're going to curve out to the center point. Now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here by 1 inch. Okay, because you don't want the center to be so low in between her bust. You can take this 1 inch higher if you want to. Okay, so I'm going to connect from here to here, connect from here to here. That has raised the center line. Now a woman's bust is fuller when around her a woman's bust is a lot fuller on her sides. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have to shift this line to accommodate for the excess okay, for the bust that will be sitting around here. So in order to do that, from here to here, what we're going to do first of all is from here we're going to come up by 1 inch. From this line we're going to come up by 1 inch like so. Okay, and then you're going to want to roll a line to make a mark to show that point. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come from this center line here. This center line we're going to come out by 1.5. So I'm making the mark at 1.5. You see that? Then we're going to draw a line from here to here. Okay, and we're going to make a new curve at the bottom. Okay, so I'm using this line down here as my base. I'm going to draw a line from here to here. Okay, so as you can see that we started forming the bra cup. Okay, because this is at the end of the day, by the time we are done padding this, is going to form some sort of bra. Okay, so the bottom part here has been formed. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come here. At this point, this is when you decide how much cleavage you want to show. From the center line here, we're going to roll a straight line from here to here so that we know how we have a straight line there. So at this point, you can decide to leave it here, you can decide to go up by 1 inch, you can decide to come down depending on how much flesh you want to reveal, but I don't want to reveal so much. Okay, so I'm going to just leave it at this point. I feel that's going to be just perfect for me. You're going to make a curve from this point to here, and then you're going to make another curve from this point to here. Okay, so we're going to curve from here to here like that, and then we're going to now make a curve from here to here. See that? The red line is the actual bust that we're going to end up using. Okay, now at this point, the picture that I'm working with, there's a little sharpness around this part. Okay, here it sticks out of the bustier, but if you want to taper it, if you don't want it to be like this, what you can do is you can taper it back and bring it to the original line that we had here. That's this bust line that we had. You can taper it and bring it down to here, but if you do not want, you can, if you want to follow the picture that we are working with exactly, you can leave it up here. Okay, so when that's out of the way, we are basically done with it. Now the only thing will be to replace back all the measurements that we have messed with, and then we are going to now keep our regular allowance. So if you remember, at this point we took out 2 inches straight down. If you guys remember, we took out 2 inches at every point, so we're going to make sure that we pay back for our sins. We're going to come here, that 2 inches, you're going to make a mark here 2 inches, you're going to make a mark here 2 inches, you're going to make a mark here at 2 inches. Okay, and the mark of course up here where we're taking at 2 inches. Now what you're going to do is you're also going to want to place 2 inches at this point right here, because of all that has taken place here. Okay, you're going to really need this, because if you notice, the red line has eaten into all the allowance we had on all our actual body that we had on this side. So at the end of the day, this red here has swallowed, you see this blue line, this is the original line we had, but the red line has eaten all of that. So this 2 inches is going to replace this blue line that was here before. If you check it out from here to here before, so you can see we had 2 inches from here to here. You can, I hope that you can see that clearly. So this line that I've dropped here now is going to pay for what this red line has eaten, the excess from here and the excess here. Okay, so now we're going to roll a straight line from top to bottom. Okay, we're going to connect all of the dots that we have from here to here. We're going to connect from here to here. We're going to connect. So as I was saying, we connected from here to here, straight down. These 2 inches that we've kept the first time is not our allowance. Okay, we are paying back for these 2 inches here. We are paying back for the excess, for what this shifts that from this one here is going to pay for this shift that happened here. First of all, we had the green line, then the red line that we have there. So this 2 inches here pays for whatever went on here. This 2 inches here pays for whatever has happened there. Then at this point, to keep a regular allowance. Okay, at this point you can keep whatever you want to keep, but usually I like keeping 2 inches. Okay, now the 2 inches, by the time I'm sewing, I'm going to eat in the 2 inches that I've kept there. But you know how you ladies are with your weight fluctuating up and down, and you're not bringing back the dress for me to help you open it, as if you had bought the dress from a boutique. You take it back for them to help you open it. Banza. Anyway, I connect all the lines from here to here, and then curve out. I hope that this is not too complex. I'm going to show you guys how you cut this out so that you don't go and hurt yourself. Okay, so this is the line, that red line, this is the line I'm going to follow, but let me show you guys how you cut this out step by step. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to now keep, when we're about to cut, we're going to keep our allowance at the bottom. Okay, the distance from here to here is 2 inches. Okay, I don't need to measure it, and I'm not your mate. It's not today that I started. As you can see, it is 2 inches there. I didn't even need to even measure it. Maybe you have seen yourself. So when we're cutting it, first thing we're going to do, we're going to cut the bottom like so. Okay, we're going to cut up like so. 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 We're going to cut here. So we cut up here. Now please watch closely. The first place I'm going to cut, we're going to come to, remember these 2 green lines we had. Okay, we're going to cut here. Okay, so I'm going to cut like so, cut like so, cut like so. Okay, when I get to the red line now, okay, I'm going to cut around the body of the red line. See that, right? And then we're going to come here and we're going to cut it out like so. See that? That's the first part. The next part is we're going to come like so. We're going to chop up, chop up, chop up, chop up, chop up. We're going to continue cutting until when we get to the red line. Okay, now remember, it's not the green line we're following anymore, it's now the red. We're going to cut here and then we're going to cut out. Okay, this place here is going to be chopped off like so. Okay, see that? That part is going to be chopped off, and then we're going to chop off the top part. Okay, so this is the pattern that we have at the end of the day. Okay, so you see this is the pattern. This is for the side. This is where that center piping, that bias piping will come, and around here this is where the other piping will come. There'll be another piping. I'm going to make a video on how to sew this so that you guys can follow along, but that will be coming in a couple of weeks. It's not coming in this, it's not coming in the week that we're about to go into. Maybe in like 2 weeks time I'm going to drop a video on how to sew this. Okay, so you see this is the two parts for the bottom part. This is where that our bustier will sit. So now let me show you guys how to cut the line, because remember I told you guys earlier on that there are two ways. There's the bustier where the line comes from top to bottom, and there's the bustier where the line goes across and then comes from top to bottom. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. Okay, so this is how you cut it. First of all, this is how you cut it. Now, okay, now to the center part of the bust. Okay, as you can see, this was the bottom part. This down part that's supposed to sit like this. We have these two green lines running down here. This is the bottom part of the bustier. This is the top part of the bustier. Okay, I'm going to tell you guys, show you guys how to cut it. Now what we're trying to do is we're trying to cut that top line, that part that goes on top that doesn't have any lines on it. So what we're going to do is this: we're going to come to the side here. You see the side? We're going to come to this edge. We're going to make a mark at 2 inches like so. Make a mark at 2 inches here. We're going to come here. We're going to still mark from the edge. We're going to still mark 2 inches at this point. You see that? You see that? Okay, then we're going to come here and we're going to make a mark at 3 inches. Okay, you see that? Now we're going to draw a line from here to here, and then we're going to draw a line from here and curve out. Okay, you guys can see that, right? So now the next thing I'm going to do is this: I'm going to cut here out and I'm going to cut here out. So you see these first two green lines that we had, that we cut out on this one, we're still going to need to cut it out on this part that we are dealing with. Okay, so please watch close. So as I was saying, we're going to cut from here. We're going to cut like this, 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 cut like so, and then we're going to keep this guy aside. Okay, we're going to keep this one aside. We're still going to go back to that. And then we're going to come to this place right here. Okay, we're going to cut here. Watch closely. The two green lines we had, that's where we're cutting. Okay, we're going to cut here and we're going to cut here. This is the part that's going to form under bust length. This one here will be discarded. Okay, but by the time you join here and here, okay, and then you now join it to here, it's going to form a cup. Okay, but one more thing on the bustier, and then we are done. So you see this red line? I know that. So after chopping off the bottom part, that green line that we had here, what we're left with is the top part and the down part. So to complete this whole process, what we're going to do now, after chopping off that green triangle that we had here, this is what we are left with. Okay, now to complete the bustier part, what we're going to do is this: you're going to come to the center line that we had here. Okay, you're going to mark here at 1/2 inch. Okay, meaning that from here to here, from the edge here to here, you're going to make a mark at 1/2 inch. Okay, you're going to do the same thing on this other side. From the edge here, you're going to make a mark at 1/2 inch. What you're going to do is you're going to draw a curve facing the upper part. You're going to make another curve here from here to here. Okay, then we're going to cut this out. I'm going to cut this out like so. Okay, now we are done. Okay, but let me tell you guys how to cut this part step by step, how to cut everything on your fabric, because you are supposed to cut this on paper first before transfer it to your fabric. So you see this other side. Okay, this is the inner part of the bustier, meaning that this is the part that's going to sit, this is the part that's going to sit like so, because this is how everything will look at the end of the day. So when you're about to cut it on fabric, there are certain allowances that you have to add to it for your sewing. Okay, now let's first start with the top part of the bustier. I hope you guys can see the whole thing. Let me pull it up so that you guys get a clear view. Okay, so we have here to here, here to here, here to here. Let me tell you guys how you cut. So let me tell you guys how to cut all the pieces step by step. Okay, now remember this part here that had that black line on top. This is going to sit on this part of the armhole, but there are certain allowances, and this part is going to sit facing towards the center. This side is going to sit at the top of the bustier. But let me tell you guys how to cut it step by step. Now you're going to take this top center piece. Even though I'm going to sew it, let me tell you guys how to place it. So you take the top part, that top part, you place it on your fabric. You're going to add ½ inch at every point. So you have ½ inch here, you have ½ inch running around the body here. Okay, ½ inch on this side, ½ inch down here. So ½ inch at every point here. Okay, now this piece, that's the piece that's facing the armhole. Okay, this is the armhole part, the piece that's facing the armhole part. What you're going to do is this: you're going to take this piece. When you're cutting it on your fabric, you have ½ inch at the top. Okay, ½ inch at the top, you have ½ inch, you have ½ inch at the top. At the bottom, okay, at the bottom part, that's the part that's supposed to meet with this part here, because this part here is going to meet with this one. The top part is meeting with that part, the bottom part is meeting with this one. You're going to need to cut 1 inch at the bottom. So when you place this on your fabric, this is the down part, the top part you place ½ inch, the inside is ½ inch, but at the bottom part, that's the part that's supposed to sit here. Okay, the part that's supposed to sit around here, you're going to add 1 inch. Okay, you guys will just have to wait. If you are confused, you might have to wait until when I drop the video on how to sew it. But this is what I mean: up here ½ inch, here ½ inch, here 1 inch. Okay, at this part here that's supposed to meet this part, 1 inch. So ½ inch, ½ inch, 1 inch. The same thing with this side. You're going to have ½ inch in the center, ½ inch at the top. But this part here that's supposed to make contact with this one here, this part is going to have 1 inch. So 1 inch here, ½ inch, ½ inch. The same thing here, like I said before, ½ inch, ½ inch, 1 inch. Okay, now with that out of the way, we're going to come to the center piece. Here you're going to keep all the sides the same. Okay, all the sides here are going to be the same, but when you get to this curve here, you're going to have ½ inch here at this part here, ½ inch at the top, ½ inch in this curve. Every other part is the same. Okay, so you're going to, on your fabric, you're going to have ½ inch running like so, and then going down. Okay, you see what I just did? I kept ½ inch space, but when it got here, run it down. The same thing here, ½ inch here, ½ inch at the top, run this side down, run this side down. So here stays the same, here has ½ inch, here has ½ inch, here has ½ inch, here stays the same, ½ inch here stays the same. I hope that's clear. So let me show you guys how to draft the back, then we'll round it up. Okay, so now it's time to draft the back. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep 2 inches for my zipper allowance. Okay, so I'm going to make a mark here at 2 inches from the edge of the fabric. Okay, I'm going to make a mark here at 2 inches, and then I'm going to run a straight line from top to bottom. Okay, and that's going to be my zipper allowance. Okay, so all my measurements will be taken from here. For instance, I'm going to come up here. Let me start showing you guys how we're going to draft the back. So up here, I'm going to place my shoulder measurement from this line, and that's the same thing. So after this line, I'm going to place my shoulder measurement of 7. That's 14 divided by 2, 7. My bust is going to fall from here. All things will fall from this line. But what I'm doing behind the camera is I'm going to draft a regular bodice exactly how we drafted it. Okay, the only difference will be at the armhole, but that doesn't even matter. But every other thing will be exactly the same for the back. When I'm not drafting the back, I'm going to bring you guys back. Okay, so as you can see, we've drafted I've drafted the bodies, only that all my measurements started from this line. Okay, the only other difference that I'm going to show you guys is around the armhole. So the armhole does not go in like the one at the front. At the back, just come to the middle of the armhole, and then you draw out your curve like so. Okay, now next thing we're going to do is the darts. Now the first thing, remember that when we're placing the bust span in front, we place it at 4 inches. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to mark 4 inches at every point. Okay, so what I did here, what I'm doing here is I'm marking 4 inches at the top and 4 inches at the bottom. All right, and then I'm going to roll a straight line from here straight down. Okay, straight line from here to the bottom. Okay, so we have a straight line from here straight down to the bottom. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come to the half cut. Okay, I'm going to come to the half cut, and we're going to mark ½ inch at both sides. That means from this center line, I'm going to mark ½ inch here, mark ½ inch here. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm marking ½ inch here. I'm going to make a mark at ½ inch on this other side of the line. Okay, I'm going to come from the very top, and I'm going to run a straight line from here to here, draw a straight line from here to here, and you're going to taper it out. Okay, so and from here we're tapering out. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, we're going to come to the zipper, so we'll come to the zipper and we'll take out half an inch at the half cut. So at the half cut we're going to come here, we're going to make a mark at half inch, you see that, and we're going to run a line from the top to that point. So from this part here we're going to make a curve from here to here, and then we're going to make a curve from here out. Alright, so that's it for the back. The only other thing is now to pay back all our allowances that we have borrowed. So remember, we took out 1.5 from here, so we're going to come here, I'm going to make a mark at 1.5. this is half inch, this is 1 inch. Remember, we kept half 1 plus half 1.5. this is the 1.5 there. Okay, so I'm going to draw a straight line that's going to come from here to this point. Okay, and then I'm going to simply take it out again. So you're going to also mark 1.5 down here too. Okay, run a straight line from here to the 1.5. okay, and then we keep our regular allowances. Okay, our regular allowance, like the one I did in front, was 2 inches. So from here to here, from this point to where you mark 2 inches, from this point you mark 2 inches, this point you mark 2 inches. Okay, a badass, so I don't need to do that, but you guys do it. You do it. Run a straight line from here down. Should we check and see? Should we shake it? Should we shake it? Can you shake it? Think I'm your mate. Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake this. What's that? What's that? That's 2 inches, baby. So as I was saying, from the edges you mark, from this line you place 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches, connect dots. So after you connect your dots, you're going to come to the bottom part here, and you're going to keep 2 inches. Okay, need I mark it? I guess you are saying no, I don't need to, because I know what 2 inches looks like. Okay, you're going to have a straight line running from here to the bottom. Okay, straight line here to the bottom. At the top here you're going to only add half an inch. Okay, so we're using the bust line as the top. Okay, this bust line here is where the edges are not going to come from the shoulder. So this place here is where the back will start from. So all of here will be bare, your body, all of this part is going to show. Here is the line you're going to use. So this half-inch line is where I'm going to cut. So let me cut this out now so that you guys see how it go. So to cut it out, we're going to start from here. I'm going to cut here like so. Okay, I'm going to cut it big and fold it under like I always do. Okay, so we fold this part under like so, then we start to cut. Okay, cutting here like so, cutting here like so, then we cut out there. Okay, I'm going to come to the zipper. Please watch what I'm doing. We're following that line that I marked. Okay, and then we're going to cut up here. Alright, now that you must not necessarily cut it out and join it. This half-inch here is just the amount. This is the amount you're going to hold so that it curves into the back. Okay, so I won't advise that you cut it. I would advise that you just simply stitch it down. Okay, then you can do your top stitching with your bias and put your bone if you want to do that. But this is the pattern for the back. This place here, when you're sewing at the half-inch, at the half cut, that's where your dash should be at its largest. That's what this half-inch here means. Okay, so that is how to draft. That's how to draft the corsets, the easiest way I can teach you how. Alright, I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video.